Book of Heaven, Volume 12. 16 March to 18 April 1917. Page 1–7. March 16, 1917. How the tight union between the soul and God is never broken. I continue in my usual state. My lovable Jesus makes himself seen almost like lightning flashing by. And if I lament, he says, my daughter, poor daughter, if you knew what is going to happen, you would suffer very much. So, in order not to make you suffer so much, I try to escape you. Then, as I return to lamenting, saying, my life, I wasn't expecting this from you. You, who seemed to be incapable and unable to be without me, and now, hours and hours. And sometimes it seems that you want to let the entire day go by. Jesus, don't do this to me. How you have changed. Jesus surprises me and says, calm down, calm down. I have not changed, I am immutable. Even more, I tell you that when I communicate myself to the soul, and I have kept her bound tightly with me, I have spoken to her, and poured out my love. This is never broken between me and the soul. At the most, I change manners, now one way, now another, but I keep inventing ever new ways to speak to her, and pour myself out with her in love. Can't you yourself see that if I have not told you anything in the morning, I am almost awaiting the evening to say a word to you? And when they read the applications of my passion, since I am within you, I pour myself up to the brim of your soul, and I speak to you about my most intimate things, which I had not manifested until now, and about how the soul must follow me in my work. Those applications will be the mirror of my interior life, and whoever will reflect himself in it, will copy my own life within himself. Oh! How much they reveal my love, my thirst for souls in each fiber of my heart, in each breath, thought, etc. Therefore, I speak to you more than ever, but as soon as I finish I hide myself, and you, not seeing me, say that I have changed. Even more, I tell you that when you do not want to repeat with your voice what I say to you in your interior, you hinder the outpouring of my love. March 18, 1917. Effects of fusing oneself in Jesus. I was praying, fusing all of myself in Jesus, and I wanted each thought of Jesus in my power in order to have life in each thought of creature, and to repair with the same thought of Jesus, and so with all the rest. And my sweet Jesus told me, my daughter, my humanity on earth did nothing but connect each thought of creature with my own. So, each thought of creature was reflected in my mind, each word in my voice, each heartbeat in my heart, each action in my hands, each step in my feet, and so with all the rest. With this, I offered divine reparations to the Father. Now, all that I did upon earth, I continue in heaven, and as the creatures think, their thoughts pour into my mind. As they look, I feel their glances in mine. Therefore, a continuous electricity flows between me and them, just as the members are in continuous communication with the head. And I say to the Father, my Father, I am not the only one who is praying, repairing, satisfying, appeasing you, but there are other creatures who do within me whatever I do. Even more, with their suffering, they make up for my humanity, which is glorious and incapable of suffering. By fusing herself in me, the soul repeats all that I did, and continue to do. What will be the contentment of these souls who lived their lives in me, embracing together with me all creatures and all reparations, when they will be with me in heaven? They will continue their lives in me, and as the creatures will think or will offend me with their thoughts, these will be reflected in their minds, and they will continue the reparations which they did on earth. They will be, together with me, the sentries of honor before the divine throne, and as creatures on earth will offend me, they will do opposite acts in heaven. They will guard my throne, they will have the place of honor. They will be the ones who will comprehend me the most glorious. Their glory will be completely fused in mine, and mine in theirs. Therefore, may your life on earth be completely fused in mine. Do not do any act without making it pass into me, and every time you will fuse yourself in me, I will pour new graces and new light in you, and I will become the vigilant sentry of your heart in order to keep any shadow of sin far away from you. I will guard you as my own humanity, and I will command the angels to surround you like a crown, that you may be sheltered from everything and everyone, March 28, 1917. The "I love you" of Jesus. The immediate act done with Jesus. Continuing in my usual state, my always lovable Jesus just barely made himself seen, but so afflicted as to move one to pity. I said to him, "What is it, Jesus?" And he, "My daughter, unexpected things will arise and suddenly occur. Revolutions will break out everywhere. Oh, how much worse things will get." All afflicted, he remained silent. And I, "Life of my life, tell me another word." And Jesus, as though breathing on me, said, "I love you," and it seemed that everyone and everything would receive new life from that, "I love you." I repeated, "Jesus, one more word." And he, "I could not tell you a more beautiful word than, I love you. This, I love you, of mine fills heaven and earth. It circulates through the saints, and they receive new glory. It descends into the hearts of the pilgrim souls, and some receive grace of conversion, some of sanctification. It penetrates into purgatory, and pours upon their souls like beneficial dew, and they feel refreshed by it. Even the elements feel invested by new life in fecundating, in growing. All perceive the "I love you" of your Jesus. And do you know when the soul attracts one of my "I love yous"? When, fusing herself in me, she assumes the divine attitude and, dissolving herself in me, she does everything I do. And I, my love, many times it is difficult to maintain this divine attitude constantly. And Jesus, my daughter, what the soul cannot always do with her immediate acts in me, she can make up for with her attitude of goodwill. I will be so pleased by her as to become the vigilant sentry of each one of her thoughts, words, heartbeats, etc., placing them inside and outside of me as my cortege, looking at them with great love, as the fruit of the goodwill of the creature. Then, when the soul, fusing herself in me, does her immediate acts with me, I feel so much drawn toward her that I do what she does together with her, transforming her work into divine work. I take everything into account, and I reward everything, even the tiniest things. Not one single act of goodwill remains defrauded in the creature. April 2, 1917. The pains of the privation of Jesus are divine pains. I was lamenting to my always lovable Jesus for his usual privations, and I said to him, "My love, what a continuous death. Every privation of you is a death that I feel, but such a cruel and ruthless death that, while it makes me feel the effects of death, it does not make me die. I cannot understand how the goodness of your heart can resist in seeing me suffer so many continuous deaths, and still make me continue to live." And blessed Jesus came for a little while, and pressing me to his heart, told me, "My daughter, press yourself to my heart and draw life. But know that the pain which satisfies me and pleases me the most powerful, the one which most equals me, and is able to stand before me, is the pain of my privation, because it is a divine pain. You must know that souls are so bound to me as to form many links connected together within my humanity. As souls are lost, they break these links, and I feel the pain as if one member were detaching itself from the other. Now, who can connect these links together? Who can weld them, in such a way as to make the split disappear? Who can make them enter into me again, in order to give them life? The pains of my privation, because they are divine. My pain for the loss of souls is divine. The pain of the soul who cannot see me or feel me is divine. Since they are both divine pains, they can kiss each other, be linked to each other, stand before each other, and have such power as to catch the escaped souls, and link them in my humanity. My daughter, does my privation cost you very much? And if it does cost you, do not keep as useless such a costly pain. As I offer it to you, do not keep it for yourself, but let it fly into the midst of the combatants. Snatch their souls from amid the bullets, and enclose them in me. Place your pain as weld and seal, and then let it go round the whole world, to make it catch souls and bring them all back to me. So, as you feel the pains of my privation, you will keep placing the seal of the reconnection." April 12, 1917. It is not the suffering that renders the creature unhappy. She becomes unhappy when something is missing to her love for God. Finding myself in my usual state, my always lovable Jesus came, and since I was a little in suffering, he took me in his arms and told me, "My beloved daughter of mine, rest in me. And your pains, do not keep them with you, but send them up to my cross, so that they may become the cortege of my pains, relieving me, and so that my pains may be the cortege of your pains, sustain you, burn with the same fire, and be consumed together. I will look at your pains as if they were mine. I will give them the same effects and the same value, and they will perform the same offices which I did on the cross, before the Father and before souls. Or better still, come, you yourself, onto the cross. How happy we will be together, even in suffering. In fact, it is not the suffering that renders the creature unhappy. Rather, suffering makes her victorious, glorious, rich, beautiful. She becomes unhappy when something is missing to her love. Being united with me on the cross, you will be completely satisfied in love. Your pains will be love. Your life will be love, all love. And so you will be happy." April 18, 1917. Pouring oneself into the divine will and fusing oneself in Jesus, form beneficial dew over all creatures. I was fusing myself in my sweet Jesus in order to diffuse myself in all creatures, and fuse them all in Jesus. So I kept flinging myself between the creatures and Jesus, to prevent my beloved Jesus from being offended, and to prevent creatures from offending him. Now, as I was doing this, he told me, "My daughter, as you pour yourself into my will and fuse yourself in me, a sun is formed in you. As you keep thinking, loving, repairing, etc., the rays are formed. And my will, as background, becomes the crown of these rays. So the sun is formed which, rising up in the air, melts into beneficial dew upon all creatures. Therefore, the more you fuse yourself in me, the more suns you keep forming. Oh, how beautiful it is to see these suns which, rising and rising, remain circumfused within my own sun, and pour beneficial dew upon all. How many graces do creatures not receive? I am so taken by this, that as they fuse themselves, I pour abundant dew of all kinds of graces upon them, so that they may form greater suns, and may be able to pour the beneficial dew more abundantly over all. And as I was fusing myself, I could feel light, love, graces, being poured upon my head.